reasonings, understandings, talk, language, conversation, dialogue, thinking about this on one part of my mind and thinking about its opposite on the other part of my mind, and discussing them in my head and with others. Speech, language, sight, vision, even religious ideas. However, the realm of God is in the Spirit. It is in the Spirit, not in the realm of the mind, but is in the Spirit, where you have such things operating as, the real effect of real prayer, and miracle, and vision, and prophecy, and eternity, and heaven, and such like things. The greater is higher than the lesser. That's obvious. And it is best when the mind runs the body and when the spirit runs the mind. So it's a tripartite world. So it is a tripartite... I'll begin again. So it is a tripartite world. Body, spirit. Body, mind and spirit. Now the scripture stumbles many with some ancient words. In the King James Version it has got body, soul and spirit. And in the meantime, with much religious talk by professors of religion, mystics and others, and confused folk, where it was thought that soul was spirit and spirit was soul. No, the correct appellation there is mind in the modern terminology, modern parlance. Mind is soul. So wherever the Bible talks about, say, heart or soul or the innermost parts, it means the responding personality, the responding psychology, the mind, heart continuum, the emotions and the understanding, the personality, the mind, the person of people, of an individual. But the spirit is something else. That is the aspect of a person that can communicate with another external spirit. Now we can communicate with our bodies, with others. We can communicate with our minds. But the aspect of the spirit, if you're trying to run it from the body or trying to run it from the mind, you will fall over. It cannot work that way. You must open up to one spirit or another. Now there are clamorous spirits that will invade you, like demons or devils or fallen angels, their clamorings and whisperings. And if you habitually surrender to them, you'll begin to think that these voices are your voices, is your discussion that you are having within yourself. But no, you have been possessed or overtaken, and you must expel these and quell such thoughts. They will be destructive of society, of family, of personality, in the end, if not right away. Whereas the things of God build brick upon brick, and it is a sure and certain course. Now look at the advantages in society when everybody, as it were, is on the same page. That we're all reading our script from the same book. Now this is an appeal to the mind, not to the spirit, but let the spirit be touched within you as to the sense of this. So we're all reading from the same book, and we can concur largely, there are differences of interpretation, but basically we're interpreting around the same topic area or the same kinds of things. There is at least common ground for agreement. How can you have a unified world or a unified society or community if you're all reading from a hugely great variety of material and books and partly trying to agree with all this incredibly disparate material? It's impossible, cannot be done, and society does not hold together. The quickest way to weaken a society is to flood that place with such material, 1,000 different gods, 1,000 different sources of information, a million philosophies. You will have the people so confused, so fighting amongst themselves, so broken up and separated, that an invader literally could just walk in. It happens time and time again in history. The cohesiveness of a society breaks down with its favourite pleasures. Look at the fall of Carthage in its long war with Rome. Rome was laying siege. A Roman army was laying siege to Carthage. On the day that Carthage fell, the Carthaginians, apart from the few soldiers manning the walls, were at the games. Unbelievable. The fact that their city was going in a few short hours to be fighting for its life, and they themselves would be fighting desperately for their lives. As they emerged from the stadium, they were slaughtered. They were just lined up in a bureaucratic fashion and slaughtered because they were not ready. They were congregating in one place. They could have taken weaponry. They did not. They were indulgent. They were on holiday. And so many societies have fallen in exactly this manner. They say the Roman society collapsed from within because of all the wine drinking, the acidic wine they drank, leached away the lead in the pewter cups. So the people who did the most drinking from these glamorous cups died off from lead poisoning. They lost their brain power, they lost their thinking, they become stupefied, they were unable to reproduce, they died young, they had mental illnesses of various kinds. Meanwhile, the party continued, and they kept on drinking, and great wine bouts, their society to death. That's one argument anyway. And the Babylonians were having a glorious party when the invading army opens up the river gate, walks in the dried up river Euphrates, and slaughters them all. This is happening. We're living in this now. The West has been distracted, mainly by sex, I think, mainly by sex and the glamour of apparent